been a Mason for since I was 19 years old. My name is Eric Hanan. I'm a past master of Sailback Laguna Lodge number 672, also a charter master and a past master of Ravens Rock Lodge number 870. Also, I'm a member of George Washington Lodge number 4 in the jurisdiction of Armenia, and also assistant Grand Master of Grand Lodge of Armenia for North America. I've been a Mason for since I was 19 years old. One day I asked my mom, I said, my grandpa is so lucky, he's got so many good friends. She told me those are his Mason brothers. I said, Masons? What is Mason? Probably I was like 7, 8 years old back then. And that word Mason was imprinted in my brain for a long time. I asked my grandmother, I said, Grandpa is a Mason. Well, what is Mason? You know, she said, when you grow up, you ask him. He'll explain it to you. 19 years old, in December 1979, I became a Mason. One day we hired an accountant at our company. He wore a tie with the Masonic symbol on it. And I asked him if he was a Mason. He said, yes. I told him, I want to become a Mason. He said, what do you know about Masonry? You're going to tell me. I said, I know nothing about Masonry, but I know that my grandfather has such great friends that I want to have friends like that, especially in a country, it's in Lebanon, where everything is controversial. You know, it's very hard to find good people around. Everybody is political. Everybody has their own religion, whatever. So he said, yeah, when the time comes, I'll take you. And he did. I came to the United States in 1984. 1984, yes. June 4, 1984. So there was a young guy who's I believe, the junior warden at that time, Jared Schulte, worshipful Jared Schulte. The nicest young man on earth, with tattoos and piercings. Oh my God, what a fun guy he was. I went to him. I said, this is the only guy that he will answer me if I talk to him. you know. So I said, brother, I'm here to see worshipful Fred Birabo. He said, he's right there, he's eating. And I went to him. Again, he's not looking. I said, worshipful Fred. He said, yeah. I said, I'm Eric Hanan. I'm here to meet with you. Oh, okay, grab some food. We'll go to the lodge, we'll talk. So I sat and waited for him. We went to the office. He sat there at the secretary's desk, and the master of the lodge came, worshipful Erich Kreidler. Very smart dude, very smart man. And he started asking me questions, where you were made a Mason, and, in Lebanon. Well, you know that your lodge is not recognized by California. I said, I'm in California now. I'm not in Lebanon, but you got to take your degrees again. I said, I don't mind, as long as I become a member. It's so what? I'll do it again. And I did it. So I got my first degree, second degree, third degree. I was pretty fast in learning, The next year, somehow, Erich Kleider set up as master again in 2008, and he offered me a position in the lodge, a marshal's position, because I already knew the work, the words, everything. So he offered me that position. And I started as an officer of Sailback Laguna Lodge. But when I became a marshal, I was watching silently and seeing what's going on what changes I have to make when I become a master of the lodge. And any organization that doesn't accept young people, they die faster than they can imagine. To me, is to target the young. Okay, I dedicated the lodge for the young guys, for the youth. We had during my installation all our new members, the young guys, they were around here. I was so proud. And when I dedicated to them, they all stood up, you know, and what a beautiful picture it was. I said, this lodge will never die because we have young people as long as we keep that way. I was lucky to have two stewards, one of them, Brother Philippe Antoine, who was a French chef, and the other one, Worshipful Groomback. Back then, he was a master mason. He was my junior steward. Both of them crazy about food. And my God, I was the luckiest master on earth to have those guys helping the kitchen and doing all that work, all that work. Amazing. And also, I love cooking, and I used to cook also some days. It was my turn. I used to do it, and I enjoyed it. So people used to tell to their wives, no, no, I'm gonna eat at the lodge now. God knows what they're cooking today. I want to eat at the lodge. Brother Jack Hennings came to the lodge and said that, you know what? This lodge needs facelifting. It's too old. I said, oh my God, he's touching my wound, this guy. He said, my wife is an interior designer. We can do a lot of changes here. And you guys don't think about the money. We'll find a way to generate money to do it. And a little bit at a time, this lodge turned to be a beautiful place. As a non-officer, you can do your food, gourmet food, that your cultural food. For example, I cook Middle Eastern stuff, Armenian stuff. You know, someone cooks Filipino stuff, the other one cooks Mexican or Spanish stuff, Italian stuff. You can offer your culture to the lodge. It's so beautiful. Okay, if not, you're not talented at food. Maybe you're talented in ritual. Take part of the ritual. If you're not talented in ritual, create a round table discussion club, a book club, be part of some excursions with family gathering, stuff like that. There are so many ways to promote the lodge, to be active in the lodge, and bring energy to the lodge. Okay? You don't need to be an officer always, to do good things for your fellow brothers. 2015, I had a terrible incident, and I was in Spain visiting for vacation with my wife during September. All of a sudden, I had a heart failure, and they took me to the hospital, and they said that his heart is working only 30%, and we need to move him right away to either Madrid or Santander. We were at San Sebastian at the time. Santander is about 2.5 hours away, and Madrid is about 5 hours away. So my wife said, let's take him to Santander because it's a university hospital and they have top-notch doctors. So they put me in the ambulance and moved me there. I don't remember anything after the last thing I remember that they put me in the ambulance, and that was it. So anyhow, make long story short, I needed a heart transplant, and apparently in Spain, you're a donor unless you tell them you're not a donor. So every person in Spain is a donor. Once he dies, they take everything from him and give it to other people. What a beautiful thing to do. I wish in America they come up with such a law, so a lot of people don't have to wait years after years after years for a heart transplant, for a kidney transplant, for liver transplant, you know. Uh, Anyhow, I was lucky enough to get a heart in 20 days. It was November 27. It was a Thanksgiving Day in the United States. I got a heart. My heart, the heart that they gave me didn't function. In 7 days, the doctors came and told my wife that, listen, we give 7 to 10 days maximum. If it doesn't work, we need to take him out of the machine. The 10th days, the doctor comes and my heart still is not functioning. My wife says, I want few more days. I pay whatever it is. Don't worry about it. I need few more days. And the doctor kind of felt pity on my wife, said, okay, 12 days, my heart start beeping. 12 days, it's a miracle. I was alive. I think it was prayers. Some people prayed for me. I don't know. But I was alive. He says to my wife, is this Brother Eric Hanan's room? My wife said, she realized that he has a square and compass pin on his jacket. He said, brother, please come on in. This is the room. Come on in. He comes and says that I'm here to check on my brother. How is he doing? And if you guys need anything. My God, for me it was a shock. Someone I never met in my life. I don't know his name. He comes and tells me, I am here to check on my brother. Total stranger. I'm paralyzed. I'm ready to jump, to hug the guy. Again, we're alone, me and my wife. We have no one. And my wife asked the nurse to come and bring the machine to make me sit so that I can talk a little bit to the guy. Even I didn't have a voice. I lost my voice at the time. You need to bring your ear very close to me in order to hear me. And we start talking. Brother Emilio Argente, I will never forget his name. He was my first visitor. And he said, I'm a member of Sempre Fidelis Lodge here in Santander. The Grandmaster from Armenia contacted our Grandmaster and they told us that we have a brother here that you need to go see how is he doing if they need anything because they don't know anyone here, you know. And I came and the other brothers from the lodge, they're going to come and visit you too. I hope you can welcome them. I said, oh my God, it would be a blessing for me to have visitors. You know, we're alone, man. I mean, we're just four walls, ceiling, and me and my wife, we talk. She keeps me company so that I don't die from boredom, you know. Uh, so I realize, I mean, people come to Masonry for many, many reasons. Some people, they like the philosophy. Some people, the moral teachings, making a good man a better person. So I was born and raised Catholic. I learned all that at the church. And also, I went to Jesuit school and I had a special class, moral teachings. So I learned all that. I was a good man when I came to Masonry. I believe so. But look at this. This is what true Masonry is. A stranger, total stranger, comes, knocks your door and tells, I'm your brother and I came here to see how are you doing. It can't be more beautiful than this. No organizations on the face of the world could offer this. There's no organization, no church, no college fraternity, nothing. Only Masonry does this. My wife was surprised. She always used to tell me that, what is this? You go to the meetings all the time. You take time from your family, from your work, you know. And when she saw this, she said, wow, I guess I was wrong. I remembered my grandfather and his friends, lifelong friends. Total strange country. You're not alone. You have someone who can look for you. This is true brotherhood. Yes, my brother, my son, visited me for a few days. My wife's sister, her girlfriend, visited us from the state for a few days. But they have work, they have to go. Those brothers, they were there. Every other day they visited me. They made sure I'm not alone. My wife is not alone. They took my wife to visit places. She was so happy. She said, oh my God, this is a blessing they came. I mean, my being alive is a miracle from God, okay? And I believe it's a miracle from Saint John Paul II because he's my patron saint. I believe it was a miracle from him. But the other miracle was my brothers visiting me. Such a blessing. Then I came to the United States. I was in the hospital for like 20 days probably, and then in a nursing home for a few months. By the time at the house they were preparing the bathroom, wheelchair accessible, etc., etc. And also at this time I couldn't move, I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit in the wheelchair. I needed a nursing home to start getting trained for that. Every day my brothers visited me when I was in the nursing home. I want to emphasize again, there is no other organization, no church, no fraternity, college fraternity, nothing that offered this. I was one of the founding members of the Armenian Catholic Youth Organization in Los Angeles. I knew dozens of people that I used to be the leader. Uh, I saw only 3 of them visiting me. But my brothers, they were with me. Almost every day I have someone visiting me. Okay? I went back home. They took me home. Again, the same thing. Every day I had visitors from my lodge, from my lodges. I wasn't alone. See, all the depression that I went through by my heart transplant, losing all my toes, not being able to walk, you know, when I used to see my brothers, my attitude changed. I want to live again. We have a god called Meher, which in Persian it's Mitra, the god Mitra, the Armenian god Meher, his son David, and his grandson Meher Jr. So Meher Jr. asked his father, there is so many injustice in this world, and what can we do to change this? His father, David, tells him that you go to the Raven's Rock, you knock the door, and the door will open. You go in and you ask them. They will lead you. They will tell you what to do. to bring justice and fairness and peace to the world. So little Meher goes to this rock and knocks the door. If you see the picture of this rock, it's called the Raven's Rock. It has the little door. You literally see the door. Just Google City of Van Ravens Rock, and you see that little rock with the door on it. He goes in to ask him what he should do. So the name of the lodge comes from that rock, or the Ravens Rock Lodge, because we as Masons, we seek peace and harmony in the world. We seek justice. We seek human rights in the world. That's why we call that lodge Ravens Rock Lodge. A coach learns from their candidates. God knows how many questions they asked me. I didn't have the answer. I had to go and research and learn from it and teach them at the same time. So right now my main job is a chaplain and a coach. So I see young brothers coming to me all the time, and we discuss and about Masonry and about life in general, because they all have issues and they need people that they can trust. An older brother that teach them from his own experiences in life, and be a big brother to them, and also maybe in my age, maybe a father figure, because most of them are younger than my son, uh, and it's a wonderful relationship. They they learn from you. They have issues. They have problems. You try to lead them to solve, because they want to solve it. They have to solve it. You kind of lead them how to solve it, and they're happy when they solve it. And you establish this beautiful link, fraternal link, that it's forever, forever. This is my story, and I hope I was able to transmit something to the audience, to learn a little bit about the beauty of Masonry, which is nothing that can compare to it.